Everybody's trying to do their thing. So, with this title, pretty much this feed is coming through you to the Great America Sports Network, my YouTube page, J Rod Sports and Discussion and Debate, and as well as my Facebook page, All Sports Talk. So you can watch it on any one of these three. We will upload it once we get this all figured out and everything. So hopefully, you guys enjoy it. And this is strictly just a Raider show, So, but anybody can join from any time. So I'm always one for discussion. But here it is. So football's back starting Thursday kickoff, but for the Raiders, they would have to wait till Sunday when they take on the Carolina Panthers at Carolina, and they're gonna have to be on the road, and it's gonna be um, one heck of a game, and hopefully everybody is good. We are trying to get Mike. Can you get him?
Not yet.
Have you tried? Nothing? No, he's not on. Okay, that's weird. We're gonna try to get my brother on. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties on his end. It's 2020. It's normal. It's the new normal thing. But other than that, the Raiders do open up the season against the Carolina Panthers, and hopefully, we're gonna go through the matchup. We're gonna go through everything, and talk about matchups, who we're looking at. What does the offense have to do to pull out a win? What does the defense have to do to stop Carolina? And once we get my brother on, I think we should be good to go.
Question.
What's the question?
Juan, can the Raiders finish second in the AFC West? Is it possible? Clint's with it.
For me, right now, the way I look at this division, I would have, if you would have told me a couple hours ago, I wouldn't have said no. But after the news, we just found out about Von Miller possibly ending his season on a freak accident, and that's always the worst, when your season ends. But I can see them now finishing second because, I don't trust in. It's not that I don't trust in Drew Lock. It's just we haven't seen enough of him to see how that offense is going to roll with him. They did get Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay is coming back. They did draft Jerry Jeudy. The offense should be good with Noah Fant. It's just my thing is I trust my offensive line more than their offensive line. And I think right now, sitting where we're sitting, I do believe now, as of right now, after the news, the Raiders could finish second in that division. Thanks, Clint. 1 minute. I think we might have my brother. I think he might be on. Is he on? And I think that's him. Hey, bro, you okay?
Just getting off of work, man. I'm ready.
I know, man. It's 2020. It's been a weird year. But anyway, speaking of 2020, bro, new season, new team, new stadium, new facility. The Raider football is back. And I'm pretty sure with the way the year's been going, that has to be music to your ears, right?
Oh, man. I'm excited, man. Super excited.
Oh, man, that's great. That's great. So let's just get right into it because we do have people waiting, and this is how it's going to go, man. So as I mentioned, it is a new stadium. We are no longer the Oakland Raiders. We are now the Las Vegas Raiders, and it is going to be – it's something different. We're going to have to get used to it, but it is what it is. But before we get into the new season, I do want to go back and talk about the 2020 draft class. I just want to know your initial thoughts on the whole class in general.
The 2020 draft class, I think it went pretty good. I mean, we did have that little stumble with Lynn Bowden, which a lot of people still have questions about. But looking at it all, I mean, we really won't know. Like everybody said, give him about 3 years. But Henry Ruggs, I think me and you kind of mentioned it the other day. It's kind of one of those things where you want to see him, perform at his highest, but know, seeing him with like pads on, and he looked a little small to me. And you know, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But you know, just looking at it that way, I hope the best for him as a Raider, but not impressive, not in my eyes, not yet.
Yeah, and I think that's
Arnett on the second pick, which is pretty crazy. I mean, you gave him so much crap for taking him, and he's looking like he's going to be a star.
Well, hold on. Timeout on that one. Okay, so anybody that did follow my draft show before the 2020 draft start, there was a video out there that I did put out there that said, hey, there's a surprising pick on a corner that I think that's going to be pretty good, and I did put Damon Arnett. Now, I think it was kind of a surprise because the way I saw Damon Arnett was it'd be nice to get him, but we probably had to get into the second round because that's where I thought he was going to go. So when we got him at 19, I was kind of like, sure. Okay. I mean, I've never been a general manager, so obviously Mayock sees something that we can't. You know what I mean? We don't know. We're not at practice. We don't know. But obviously there's something there that Mayock liked. And with Ruggs, we've had discussions about this. The way I saw the Henry Ruggs pick was all John Gruden did was grab the Antonio Brown playbook from last year, dust it off, put duct tape over it, put Henry Ruggs playbook, and that's basically what he did. That's all he did. That's pretty much what Antonio Brown was going to be, is now going to be Henry Ruggs. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but I you know, without seeing one snap from Ruggs in the league yet, I don't know if it's a fair comparison. I mean, Antonio Brown's done so much for the game. Besides, obviously, the attitude, you know, let's just separate that right now. The attitude, the way he is, compared to the game that he brings, it's two different things. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
He's a beast. It's a fear for him, you know, that kills it. But Ruggs, I wouldn't give him that yet. He has to go out there and earn it, you know. Antonio Brown's been, you know, what's that saying? You know, he's been put through the fire, you know. So he's done it at a high level. Ruggs was okay in college in Alabama, but, you know, we'll see what he's got.
And then you did mention Lynn Bowden. That was our next pick, and that was a very short-lived pick, if I may say so myself. We traded him to Miami for a fourth-rounder. I think it was the fourth-rounder we gave up to get the linebacker from Miami, actually. So it was kind of like, I mean, it is what it is now, you know what I mean? And look, there's been reports on both sides, on Lynn Bowden's side and then on the Raiders side. So the one thing I'm going to say right now is I'm proud of Mike Mayock. Like, I'm glad he can at least be in the camera, stay in the camera, look at the camera in the face and say, this was my bad. This trade was nothing more than a football move. It's not that he said that I messed up on the pick. It's just, look, it wasn't working out. Why am I going to waste the time on a player that has no fit here? Now, obviously, we didn't know how many snaps he was going to get. So the way I looked at it is we got a fourth-round pick back from a player who never took a snap in the NFL. To me, I call that a win.
Okay, let me jump in for a second. Let's just go ahead and air it out. Let's talk about it now. I mean, what were the rumors? I mean, I've heard very horrible pass blocking. I've heard bad attitude.
Okay.
Couldn't learn the playbook. You know, I mean, let's just put them out there. What did you hear?
Okay, this is from what I heard. Okay, one, it was the character issue where obviously we all know the rookie stayed at the M Hotel, which, by the way, very beautiful hotel. Very beautiful hotel, if I do say so.
I always stay there. I love it there.
Very beautiful hotel. So my thing was, from what I heard, was the rookies that did stay there, they all did what they had to do. Got their food, went back to the room. However, from what I heard, Lynn Bowden kind of wanted to live a little bit on the lavish side. That's just the rumor, that he was kind of gambling, playing craps at his time. And hey, it's a free country, dude. Do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Do whatever it is.
You know, that doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good, obviously. But hey, to each their own. Another one was he just wasn't getting the snap counts. The pass blocking wasn't there. It's just his whole attitude, from what I heard, was what Mayock didn't want was his attitude to infect the rest of the rookies. So that's what I heard from the camp of Lynn Bowden was, hey, no hard feelings, and I'm going to just start my new adventure in Miami. So he took it as well as he can took it. So I wish him the best. I mean, but the way I see it, I'm not going to be upset at Mayock because it was a football decision. He took his hits like a man, but I'm going to look at this as a win that we got a 4th-round pick back from a player who hasn't played a snap in the NFL. To me, I'll take it. And when it comes to draft day, you want as many picks as you can, my man. You know that better than I do.
For sure, man. But I think what gets lost here, bro, and a lot of people do bring it up, but you really have to, in essence, really have to understand that you whiff on a 3rd-round player, which is, for us, it's not a big deal. We whiff on 2nd-rounders like nobody's business. But, when you need them, you need the 3rd-rounders, and he was supposed to be a big deal. All the college highlights, all that he could bring to the table. It was supposed to be a real dynamic player. We were all excited to see it. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, you were one of the people that said that, because we always have our comparisons, which player are we looking at on offense this year, which player are we looking at on defense. I think that was your guy, right? You really wanted to see what he was going to bring to the table.
I did. I really did want it because, when you have an athlete like that, because, there's players, and, players out there, it's like, hey, I'm strictly a wide receiver. I'm strictly a running back, or I'm strictly whatever it is you're going to play. You know what I mean? But when you're an athlete like that, you can't help but get excited. You know what I mean? Because
can I go off a limb here and say you might have even called them Slash? Did I hear that?
I did call them Slash. Yeah, from the Cordell Stewart days. Yeah, I missed that guy, man. But
that was something else, huh?
But and that's what I'm saying. It's like when they have like that athlete persona, you can't just help but get excited. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate it didn't work out. And hey, no hard feelings. I hope he does well in Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then
let's move on. Next guy. That's enough already on Bowden. He's not even a Raider no more.
Ouch, man. Be nice. But anyway, so the pick right after. Now, this guy has been getting buzz since like day 1 of camp. And that's Bryan Edwards. Apparently, the dude is a monster from what we hear coming out of camp. I've heard nothing but good things about Bryan Edwards, the wide receiver out of South Carolina.
Yeah, Bryan Edwards, nothing but good things, man. It's funny because you were saying earlier, Henry Ruggs, this and that. I mean, dude, if anything, all the cameras and all the publicity has been going more to him. He's got the frame. He's got the speed, smart kid. You know what I mean? And from what I hear, he's just been a training camp standout. For sure.
And you know what? It's awesome to hear. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think he was going to get a lot of playing time because when you looked at the depth of the wide receiver, we knew at that time Tyrell was going to get his snaps. We knew Zay Jones was going to get his snaps. We knew Aguilar, Renfro, he was going to get his snaps. So I was kind of like, well, he's doing good in camp, which is fine. It's positive for us, but I don't think he's going to get enough snaps. But now with the injury of Williams, it's like, hey, this kid might get some playing time. If things start going south at wide receiver, this kid might be getting some playing time, and that's when we'll see what he's really made of,
Yeah, for sure. At this point, it's not if. I think it's more when. Just because Terrell Williams not being there. If you think about it, I really think they maybe drafted him because they knew Tyrell would be probably gone after this year. I mean, to be frank and to be upfront about it, cheaper price, younger kid, you know what I mean? Brings all the intangibles. If you think about it, put the frames together. They're pretty much the same guy. I mean, kind of, right?
I think Tyrell's just a little bit taller, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the same frame. I mean, same deal.
I mean, think about it, bro. I mean, sometimes you got to get into these GM's heads. Like we talk about all the time, being Raider fans, and it's like you look at so many things, but it's a business, man. They got to look at money. They got to look at next year's rosters. I mean, they're forecasting way before we're thinking about Sunday's game. They're talking next year, the year after that. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why I'm comfortable being here and not being a GM, because that is a lot of thinking over there. That is a lot of but we'll see what he's got. And then moving on, Tanner Muse, not much. I mean, he did end up in IR, so he is going to miss the first 3 weeks. So, I mean, from what I heard, he was. What was that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, from
go ahead.
What I heard, special teams only, nothing crazy. So that's pretty much.
I saw more. I saw more from him. There was a couple plays that they showed on training camp. He was keeping up with the wide receivers and the running backs pretty well. So he's got some speed. As a matter of fact, there was a player that came out and was talking about how drastic the speed on defense got. I want to say it was probably Abram. I'm not sure. But, you know, it's night and day, I think was the word that he used.
Holy.
Muse has a lot to do with that, man. You know what I mean? So I'm actually, I really don't want people to take that one too lightly, because this kid is going to be good, man. He's going to be good. He needs those snaps. I don't think it's going to be somebody like you're already throwing him on special teams. I think he's going to be, he's got to work for it first, but he's a smart kid, man. They drafted him there for a reason.
And then before we move on to the next guy, yes, there will be Q&A. So if you guys got questions and answers, leave them, and then my assistant will write them down, and we will go from there. So moving on to the next person, John Simpson. Now, obviously, we knew what his role was. He was going to be the backup guard to Incognito and Gabe Jackson. So should one of those two guys go down, he's going to have to roll in right away. So, but from what I hear, smart kid, very athletic and very strong. I mean, that's exactly what you want from a freaking guard,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no hiding it. They were trying to trade Gabe Jackson before the year started.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, start bringing in guys. You want to look in the draft, you want to look at free agency. But then again, dude, going back to it, you build through the draft, man.
Oh, absolutely.
So, again, going back to like what we talked about earlier, they're already looking for next year. If this guy can come in, plug a hole, and start, already looking good for next year, why pay Gabe Jackson all that money when you got a kid that's younger, will do probably the same job, if not better?
That's true. And then the last guy, this is your guy. Amik Robertson. This is your man, right?
No doubt about
it. I remember we woke up Saturday morning, and the whole time, it wasn't even our pick. You were just banging the whole table. Do not take Amik Robertson. Do not take Amik Robertson. And I was like,
for the other team not to take it.
And
I wanted
him. When it came to us, you're like, okay, take him now. And sure enough, they did. Round 4, pick 139, Amik Robertson. Now, at first glance, I mean, he's not the tallest dude in the room. He's never going to beat anybody, in a dunk competition. You know what I mean? However, this guy's got some dog in him, man. This guy's got a bite like no other, man. Every time I see him tackle, it's like he's taking another man's soul. It is insane that this dude can bring it at 5'8" like that,
Yeah. Look, bro. Here's the deal with the meat. If anybody ever watched his draft when he got the call, he started crying, and a lot of people think like, oh man, it's his dream come true. Well, the deal is that he wasn't crying because he made it to the NFL. He was crying because of how upset he was that 32 teams passed on him in 4 different rounds. So that automatically, right off the bat, tells you what kind of guy he is. He's a no nonsense guy. And he's going to go out there and work his tail off, man. No doubt about it. The Bayou kid. And the tape speaks for himself, man. I mean, check it out. I mean, From what I hear, there was a height, issue, and the one that really scared off teams, I think, was the injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was an
ankle.
I think it was the ankle. I think it was.
Go ahead.
No, I think it was the ankle.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right. And then again, one more time, I'll go back to it. They're looking at LaMarcus Joyner, going back to it. They're forecasting for next year already. Bring him in. Let's see if he can compete with LaMarcus Joyner. If he can, then hey, LaMarcus, you're out. Let's take that money, give it to a younger cat. That's the third time I've said that today, by the way.
I mean, you're already looking forward to next year, and we haven't even played Sunday. So overall, one offensive player, one defensive player. Who are you looking at the most? Like, who is the guy you're looking at the most?
Rookies?
Rookies, just strictly rookies.
Yeah, well, defense. I mean, come on, man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's my guy. Followed him, picked him in my draft board. Everything. He's my guy. So I'm gonna go with Amik on defense, no doubt about it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take offensively. So it's kind of a tough one because I do want to see Ruggs do well. I'll just have to go with Ruggs, and not because he's the first rounder and all that stuff. I want to see if he's going to be able to perform. And a lot of people, we always say, JR, that these guys, it's not their fault where they're drafted at, and I get it, but kid, you're drafted in the first round. I want to see it. Bring it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'll go with Henry Ruggs as a safe pick.
For me on defense, it's more the opposite, actually. I want to see what Damon Arnett's got defensively. I did mention earlier, I thought for sure, high to mid-second rounder. We took him at 19. I was happy with the pick because I knew what he can do. I mean, obviously, his game got foreshadowed because on the other end is Jeffrey Okudah. But, number, side by side, it's not bad. He played that number 2 corner role pretty good. And I think he could be a starter eventually. Now, thank God Trayvon Mullen's there, so we don't have to worry about heat there. It's just I think with those two now, I think they're going to be brewing something special here within the next couple of years. And then for me, offensively, it's Brian Edwards. It's Brian Edwards. It's like, hey, man, look, stories coming out of camp, that's great because, that's the local reporters. That's what they want to do. But I need to see it myself, you know what I mean? I need to see what he can really bring, you know what I mean? I get it. Leader at South Carolina, hey, that's all fine and dandy. But I got to see what he's made out of first. That's going to be my guy, is Brian Edwards, the rookie.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what we talked about before with him, the frame and everything. You know what I think helped that pick out a lot too is Tyrell Williams being down. Because if Tyrell Williams would have been, healthy and going, Tyrell Williams is a good receiver, man, I think he's injury prone, and I think that's what's hurting him. But obviously, I know that's hurting him, but Brian Williams getting a lot more attention.
Oh, yeah.
Now that Williams is down.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting it before, too. Which is good, you know what I mean? But it's more amplified now that Williams is down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's 2020. Let's move on to Sunday. The Carolina Panthers. So I've told you this.
Excited.
I've told you this plenty of times. The one teams that always kind of get me iffy is the unknown teams. And, what do I mean by that? Well, Ron Rivera, out. Matt Rule, new head coach, in. Cam Newton, out. Teddy Bridgewater, in. Greg Olsen, out. Chris Manhertz, in. Luke Kuechly, retired. And by the way, I want to take this opportunity. Luke, if you're out there, if you ever watched this video, congrats, man. You were one hell of a freaking linebacker, man. One hell of a linebacker. I did not think.
Don't tell the story about me.
Oh.
With Kuechly.
Oh, you mean the one where you called him a nerd?
That's for another day.
Okay, but other than that, Luke, one hell of a career, man, and we wish you all the best on whatever it is you're gonna do next, man. But Luke Kuechly retired.
Great linebacker, probably one of the best, top 10 maybe ever.
Oof, and that was just a short sample of his career, you know. I mean, but hey, everybody's got their expiration date, and he felt his was now. So God bless him, you know.
Yeah, man. God bless him with a healthy career. He's walking away from the game healthy, which, you know, not a lot of people can do or say.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know, respect to him, man. His kids and family are going to be able to enjoy him.
And so, like I mentioned, Luke Kuechly retired. A familiar face to Tahir Whitehead will now be the middle linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. So, and this is what I'm saying. We know offensively it's all about Christian McCaffrey. But they got some other nice pieces around too, with Teddy Bridgewater coming back. You know, he's finally going to be the guy because he replaced Drew for those 6 games, but then they went back to Drew. I mean, obviously you're going to go back to Drew Brees. You're not going to just have him on the bench, but now he gets another shot to be a starter. DJ Moore, the forgotten first-rounder wide receiver in 2018. Robbie Anderson was a free agent pickup from the Jets. Russell Okung is now there. Matt Paredes, the center from the Broncos, is not there. So, and this is kind of what worries me. And I mention this all the time because we don't know what kind of team these guys are. New head coach, new players, new everything. And sometimes that's kind of like an advantage for these new teams. You know what I mean? Because there's not enough film to know what you got, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The way I kind of look at the Carolina Panthers and everything, kind of like you were bringing it up, it's like, I mean, Christian McCaffrey, you know, good. Teddy Bridgewater used to be good, and, you know, I'm sure he's got to get proven again, but I don't know, not somebody that I can honestly say, like, oh, man, I'm super scared, but we'll see. Anything could happen any Sunday.
And that's what I'm saying. And for me, the other thing is the Panthers, they are the very first team to use every draft pick for a defensive player, and it's for good reason. You know, Dante Poe's gone. Gerald McCoy's gone. You know, he was there last year. Now he's injured reserve, but he signed with Dallas. Julius Peppers, he's gone. You know, so they're going to have 4 rookies that are going to start. And, you know, it comes from Derek Brown, the defensive tackle from Auburn, Yetur Gross-Matos, the defensive end from Penn State, Troy Pride Jr., the corner out of Notre Dame, Jeremy Chin, the super athlete, you know, next to Isaiah Simmons, you know, the safety. And that's the thing. I mean, the defense, even with Luke Kuechly gone, the defense still has some pretty good names for veteran side. You know, Brian Burns, you know, you remember him last year, first rounder. Kawan Short, Shaq Thompson's going to be there. Tahir Whitehead is a good veteran. Dante Jackson, you know, Trey Boston, the veteran safety. So, I mean, it's not like – I know a lot of Raider fans especially think, oh, this is going to be like an easy one. But I'm looking at the team from Carolina top to bottom. It's like, hey, guys, our offensive line has kind of a little bit of a handful because that defensive line, it's got some talent. It's got some pretty good talent there with Brian Burns, Kawan Short, Derek Brown, and Yetur Gross-Matos. I mean, yeah, they're young, but there's potential to be good there, you know?
Yeah.
So
they're rebuilding, you know, and they got some pretty good pieces. You know, Teddy Bridgewater could stay healthy, and obviously McCaffrey's a beast. You know, you put pieces around that on the offense, build a good defense like they did in the draft. You know, they're on the right track. I don't know about this season, right?
I mean, I don't know about this season, but I think this is a team that the Raider fans in general should not take lightly at all. Like, at least in my opinion. Like, everybody's kind of mentioning it. Like, from what I'm hearing is a bunch of Raider fans think, oh, the offense is going to go for such amount of yards and the defense is going to hold them. It's like, well, hold on, guys. I mean, look, McCaffrey is a one-man show. He proved it last year that he could do it on his own. our defense hasn't really been that good in a really long time. So I kind of expect a close game here. I don't expect them to, totally just run over Carolina, like go to Carolina, run them over, and then come back to Vegas. Is like, it should be a really close game. I mean, in my opinion, that's what I think. But
yeah, I can agree.
So offensively, or let's start with this. Offensively, what do the Raiders got to do offensively to attack this young defense? Because it's a young defense. They have some nice names, but in your opinion, what do the Raiders got to do to attack this defense? What's the best way to go about it?
Pick your poison, man. We could smash you with Josh Jacobs, or we got a 2 tight end set, with Waller, the new addition with Jason Witten.
Mm-hmm.
We got a third and Renfro. You know what I mean? We got Henry Ruggs or Aguilar or whoever you want to put on the outside, Brian Edwards. There's going to be a lot of, pick your poison type deal, man. They got so much to offer, different stats. I mean, it's going to be so much.
I think so.
I wouldn't know where to go with that. Smash mouth, maybe? Start with Josh Jacobs and take it from there?
I think so. I mean, I think Josh is itching to go back after, kind of him kind of getting snubbed for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I think he is getting ready to, kind of show what he's really, really made of. And look, Josh Jacobs had one of the best rookie years, if not the best rookie year for Raider, rookie running back for Raider all time. So I am excited to see what he does year 2. As far as everything else, what I'm excited about is finally, for the first time in a minute, we're going to have our 5 offensive linemen starters all on the field at the same time. There's no injuries, knock on wood, there's no injuries that's being brought about. Everybody's going to be there, from Colton Miller, Incognito, Hudson, Gabe, Trent Brown. So our offensive line is going to be all there, which is a big key, in my opinion, to this year's success. It's really not much about, who's going to make the plays. It really is, if this offensive line can stay healthy, the Raiders can make a deep run at the playoffs, I believe. It's just health is going to be the key issue here.
For sure. I can agree with that, man. And you said it best, the offensive line. I read somewhere what the second most paid offensive line in the league, right?
That's right. So
second.
I mean, they got to show it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it all starts in the trenches, man, defensively and offensively. So, we want to have that smash mouth running game with Josh Jacobs. Offensive line's got to be there.
Yeah.
You want to start passing deep and, slot, whatever, anything passing like that, you got to give Carr time, man.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the Carr segment's going to come here pretty soon. I'm sure.
No Carr segment today, believe it or not. I'm actually...
Really?
Yeah, no Carr segment for me today. I think for me right now, the only Carr segment I will say, as far as Carr, because look, there's no question, Carr is kind of on a, I'm not going to say a short leash, but there is a ticking time bomb in Vegas for Derek Carr. Is that fair?
Oh, for sure.
So,
Can't deny that.
My thing is, okay, we did mention the Panthers defense is young. I don't need Carr to be Peyton Manning or Dan Marino. But if he can't get nothing going against this defense, then it's going to be a long one. That's pretty much all I can say. I mean, we've seen enough games, dude. I mean, I forget what year it was that we got mashed. Oh, it was Carr's rookie year, 2014. And then Schaub started, and then the first drive pick, and you already said it, like, boys, it's going to be a long one. And it sure was, man. It sure was a long one. So with no preseason games, Carr should not have any trouble now because it is his 3rd year under Gruden's system. The weapons are back. Now, the only addition is probably Henry Ruggs and Edwards and Aguilar and Witten. But other than that, Waller's back. Jacobs is back. Renfro's back. Zay Jones is back. The offensive line's back. Ingold is back, which, by the way, that man does not get enough credit. Alec Ingold, he does not get enough credit on that team. If I do say,
bringing that up, man.
If I do say so myself,
I was going to bring that up later on for the show. I really think that guy's a pivotal piece right there. That he brings so much to the table, man. And did you see he got a little bit bigger this year also?
I did see that. So hopefully that translates to the. But going back to Carr, the only thing I can say is this: it's been 7 years. You're probably the best quarterback we've had since, and I know I'm going to make a lot of Raider fans upset, since Jason Campbell. I can't say Rich Gannon because at least Rich Gannon took us places. He took us to the playoffs. He took us to AFC championship games. He even took us to 1 Super Bowl. So I'm not going to say you're the best quarterback since Rich Gannon, but you are the best quarterback we've had since Jason Campbell. Okay? At least we can rely on you to kind of be the good player. However, it is your 7th year. You've only been to the playoff once, and you couldn't play because of that freak injury that year. It's time. It's either you're going to do it this year, or we're going to have to either go with Peterman and Mariota for the rest of the year, and we'll see what holds in the future for that guy. But I think he should be fine this year. If nothing else, if he can't get it done this year, then I don't know where to go from here. He can't regress. That's all I'm going to say. He cannot regress from last year. There's just no way.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you said it best. He's on a short leash. You don't pay a quarterback to sit on the bench as much money as they paid Mariota to. You know what I mean? So there's no point in even going there, man. Definitely. I think me and you spoke about this, and we were saying, you know, give us an over/under. How many games do you think it's going to take for Mariota to get in there? I'm looking at. I'd give him the first quarter of the season, first 4 games, see where he's at. Obviously, the Carolina game's probably the easiest. I don't want to say easy because that's not a good word. NFL, these are the best professional players in the world. So it's nothing easy in the NFL, but easiest, I would say, game would be game number 1. And after that, they go to home against New Orleans, tough. You know, after that, it's
New England.
Was it?
New England, week 3 at New England.
New England, you know, with Cam Newton and all that. I mean, they're going to be trying to get their wheels spinning also. And then the 4th game would be.
I think that was the Bills. Bills at home.
There it is, Bills. You know what I mean? So that's a
tough stretch, huh? Yeah.
First 4 games.
That's a brutal.
So if you look at it that way, let's just say by 4 games, you know, God forbid, we're 0-4 or whatever, it's over. I mean, I think we're 0-2 and it's over, I think. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, because I mean, it's no secret. I mean, John Gruden's favorite quarterback is the next one, and we can all attest to that one. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, as far as Carr, it's just, you know, we don't need you to be Superman. We don't need you to be Batman. We don't need you to be Peyton Manning, Dan Marino. Just be Derek Carr. Be that kid at Fresno State that knew he can get the job done. That's what I need. I need that guy back.
2016 Carr.
I need that Carr. The guy where it's like, hey, man, I don't care. Go for it. Just do your thing, man. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
but
offensively, they have a lot of weapons. Pick your poison type deal. So I think offensively, it's going to be, I think the easier side for Sunday. Again, I don't like to use that word easy, but defensively, I think is where we're going to have, a little bit more of an issue. McCaffrey stopping him, Teddy Bridgewater trying to show that, they spent the money well to pick him up and give him a starting position again, which is good for him, man. What happened to him was tragic, but definitely won't be rooting for him on Sunday, man. So.
No, and then, defensively for me personally, for the Raiders, defensively, Christian McCaffrey is that workhorse. He is that offensive wheelhouse for that Carolina offense. Teddy Bridgewater, he's a good quarterback. It's just been a minute since he's taken full range of a full year to be starter. But Christian McCaffrey has shown time and time again, even if he's the only man Like, that's the one-man show, and he showed it at Stanford as well. He can be the only great offensive player on that team. He's going to get his yards. And we always say this about great players. You can't stop them, but, God, you got to contain them. And this Sunday, it is pivotal that the Raiders defense, from the new additions of Corey Littleton to Kwiatkowski to everybody, you got to contain McCaffrey. Because once he gets going, that offense is going to start clicking little by little.
Yeah. No, that's a pivotal piece right there. Once he gets going, it opens up everything, man. It opens up the pass. It opens up the screen. You know, you name it. You know, if that kid gets going, I mean, he's going to do his thing. Like you said, you can't stop him. Just you hope to contain him, you know, for sure.
You know, and then obviously Teddy B is going to be the quarterback. He's got – I mean, he was good, and there's a reason he went in the first round is because he has talent. Now, what you said earlier is true. You know, that injury that did end his time in Minnesota was tragic. Then you got, you know, former first-rounder. Well, he's still there, DJ Moore. He did show up a little bit last year, so maybe he's trying to pick up where he left off. Overall, defensively, we've been saying this for years now. If the linebackers can just cover the tight ends, because it seems every year, every tight end has like the best game of their life against the Raiders. If they can just cover the tight end, and if they can stop McCaffrey or contain McCaffrey, we have a shot. We have a legit shot of winning this game.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. When you said that, it reminded me of years past where we would just like rotate players and just try to see who can stop the tight end. When you said it, just automatically reminds me of Kelsey. Like, dude, we can never stop him, ever. You know,
we could never stop Kelsey. I remember the Antonio Gates era. We couldn't stop him.
You know, and we cannot find a way to stop that guy.
But I am excited because the new pieces on defense I am actually excited about. From Malik Collins to Corey Littleton to Nick Kwiatkowski, you know, to all these guys, you know, I'm excited about it. You know, it was good pieces. Now, I wish some other pieces that we did sign in the offseason would have made it, but this training camp, we all said it was going to be weird. So if you're not practicing, you're probably not going to make the team. And that's what I heard from Demarius Randall. He only practiced one time with the first teamers, and that wasn't going to get it done. Now, there is one guy I am excited about defensively, and he's not even a starter. He's going to be a rotational man. Arden Key. So word coming out, the man's changed. He's a changed man. We got to see it. I would love to see that. If he can put it together, we might have a good rotational system brewing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. You know, how long have we been waiting for this, though? You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
If he does it, great, by all means. I mean, you know, his rookie year was supposed to be spectacular. All right, nothing happened. His second year, all right. He got in the weight room and he got bigger, he got faster, cool. I don't remember saying his name once last year at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, remember, he did get hurt.
At this point, it's just a bunch of smoke, I think. I hope for the kids to do well, but I mean, come on, you know. It's like the way everybody talks about Carr. When. You know, it just becomes to the point where it's just like, hey man, is this year or nothing, you know? And we just start looking for somebody else.
Absolutely. So for the final segment of this show, because after this segment, we're going to do a little Q&A, and then we'll end the show on that point. So we always do this every week, me and my brother. We look for 3 players, one on offense, one on defense, and one on special teams to kind of give a message, just an individual message to these players to maybe they can hear us out, and maybe we can use it as motivation. So, bro, I'm going to give you the floor first. If there's one player on offense that if you were to meet face-to-face right now to have a one-on-one conversation about this Sunday, who would it be, and what would you say to the man?
I'd grab Carr by the shoulder. I'd grab him like this, and I'd say, hey, buddy, it's your time, man. Let's get it done. Let's go back to the promised land. You know you can do it, man. You know, all the stuff you talk, all the things you say, it's all fine and dandy, but there's comes a point where enough talk, man. We got to see it. You got to start running. You got to start gunning. You know, come on, man. And I'm going to have him like this, and he's going to be head down like this.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah, you're right, Jules.
For me,
that's what I say to him, man.
For me, offensively, it's actually going to be a guy on the offensive line. Myself, actually. It's actually going to be Colton Miller. If I can just have one-on-one with him, and if I can just tell him, hey, man, listen to me. Nobody believes in you. Nobody believed in you when you were taken at 15. Nobody believed in you when you got better your second year. This is your year. This is your year to show you are one of the best left tackles in the game. And I don't care what you got to do. If you got to talk to an official because a player's doing something, fine. If you got to grab them to prove your point, great. If you got to punch them in the throat, whatever it is you got to do, get it done. Get it done, and let's keep going. You keep pushing that line forward.
Yep. Agree. Totally agree.
Now,
the whole Raider O-line logic.
Just, if you got to punch him in the throat, punch him in the throat, Cohen. I don't care. Don't worry about the flags. We'll take the flag. Just prove your point that you're one of the best in the league. Now, defensively, who would you like to talk one-on-one to?
There's a lot of players I would probably like to talk to. But, I guess I'll, again, not to be a safe pick or anything like that, because I'm sure people watching like, oh, okay. But, Crosby, man, and I would talk to Crosby like, hey, man, a lot of people, including myself, probably think it was just, like one of those deals, just like his rookie season. Nobody was really looking at him. And now, dude, everybody's seen the tape and all the hype behind him. So they know now that guy, watch out for him. They're going to be putting an extra blocker on this running back. So now more than ever, you got to show it, dude, because all the hype's behind him now. And, I want to see that guy flourish. He's got the right attitude. He's got the, he's got the frame and everything. But, it's one thing to do it just a rookie season and be, one of those deals,
Oh, yeah.
We want to see it, continue on forward, keep climbing up that hill, not just be okay with, what was it, 10 sacks? Was it 10 sacks this year?
Yeah, it was 10 and a half. Yeah, 10 and a half.
10 and a half. Okay. Well, let's shoot for 12. Let's shoot for 14, Sky's the limit with that kid, man. I want to see him go further, for sure.
If there was one, I am going to stay on the defensive line myself, but it's actually going to be Maurice Hurst. For me, I would just pretty much tell him straight out. It's like, look, man, you have all the talent in the world, but because of that one condition, it brought you to the 5th. This is going to be the year, the make or break year for you. You're either going to, flight onto the scene, or you're just going to be one of those deals, You're going to be one of those deals, and I believe in him. I think this is going to be the year where he is, to me right now, a sleeper Pro Bowler by the end of the year. I think this is the year he gets into the Pro Bowl.
He was on the cusp the last couple of years also.
But I think this year
he's close.
I think this year,
one of the things, bro, if I can add something to that too, you could tell him, hey, look to the side of you, the guy that was wearing 92, Sam. God, I can't even remember his name now, just because.
Oh, PJ Hall. PJ Hall. Yeah.
Hall. PJ Hall, man. I mean, look at you don't show up on time.
No. Oh, I think we lost him. Oh, yeah. No, and you know what? I agree, but I just think this is the year he finally gets it, and it's just going to have to take to somebody to just tell him, hey, look, man, you got all the tools. Put it together. Get yourself a Pro Bowl check, and just finally put it, because we know he can do it. It's just if it's up to him if he wants to do it,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
And
special teams.
And then for me, my guy on special teams, DC. No, not Derek Carr, Daniel Carlson. Look, man.
Same.
I get it.
Same.
I get it. It was hard. It's hard. At that time, when you were brought in, hey, man, the departure of Janikowski was still there. In your first year, you kind of filled a little bit of heart in that like empty void, and it was good. Your second year, you did okay, but then you had your bad days too. Enough. I know you can be a great kicker in the NFL. I know you can be. You have everything a kicker wants. You got the height, you got the leg strength, you got the accuracy, you got everything you need. Just get it out of your head. If you miss one, forget about it. Do not let it linger onto you. Move on to the next kick.
Totally agree with you, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. When it comes to kickers, especially donning the silver and black, one guy comes to mind. That's number 11, dude. Seabass.
Oh, yeah.
Janikowski.
Oh, yeah.
Monster kicker. I mean, to me, probably the best kicker I've ever seen, and not just because I'm a Raider fan, but when you come in and have to fill those shoes, it's tough, man. So, DC, you just want to see him get better, dude. I think, like you said, his first year he came in, he wasn't automatic, but he was making them in. And last year he just fell off the wayside, dude. Like I can remember a game where they were booing him out there in his old team. I want to say it was Minnesota.
It was Minnesota.
And that even you could just tell it got to him, man. Like it's just it's up here for him. I think
Like I've seen it. Like I know he could be a great kicker. It's just he has to get it out of his own head. Just get it out of your own head, dude. You're gonna be fine. Trust me, you're gonna be fine. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first episode. A couple hiccups, but hey, 2020, you got to push on through. So we're actually going to go to some Q&As. Do we have any Q&As? All right, hit us with a couple. What do we got? What's the first one? Michael Klepetzi. What do we got?
The Raiders, Broncos, Chargers could finish anywhere from second to fourth.
Correct.
They all have flaws. It's truly how the breaks fall. Von Miller might be injured here in Denver.
Yeah, no, you are right. Well, they just did announce that Von Miller is done for the year. He is done. And look.
Oh, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was kind of a freak thing. Apparently, it was an ankle, but I guess it was just one of those freak things, like the Teddy Bridgewater thing, like one of those freak accidents, And that sucks because Von Miller, like I like watching Von Miller play. You know what I mean? It's just, it sucks.
Yeah,
but
he's a beast, bro.
I know.
Real respectful guy too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard to not like that guy.
Yeah. I mean, we wish him the best. I wish him the best in a speedy recovery. I'm sure my brother does too. Hopefully everything goes. But as far as
want to beat those teams when they're full speed,
Oh yeah, always
when they got their best players.
Because that gives it a little bit more validation. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But
then you could just go back to, well, we didn't have Von Miller. He's the whole team, this and that. But like I said, no disrespect to Von Miller, great player, probably one of the best for sure.
But as far as Michael's question, obviously we all know it's the Chiefs' division to lose. Now, every team does have flaws. Our flaws, right now is probably, hey, can the defense stop somebody and can the offense score more than 19 points? For the Broncos, it really is, can their offensive line protect Drew Lock long enough to make those plays? And for the Chargers, it's going to be a weird year. It's either Justin Herbert. Well, Tyrod Taylor is going to start, but it's either Justin Herbert takes over right away or it's just going to be building time for Herbert until he's ready to go. But as far as everything goes, the fight for second, it's up for grabs, because it's the Chiefs' division to lose. Thanks, Michael. And then we got another one. What's up?
How many games do you see the Raiders winning this season?
Oof, how many games? Bro, you want to take that one first? And who was that from? All right. Bro, you want to take that one? How many games do you think the Raiders got in them this year? How many games?
Yeah, I can give my opinion on it. I'm probably looking at, I think if things really line up and the team really goes on a good streak, I really think we can do 10-6, and I think that's a great year for us. Honestly, yeah, I don't want to be one of those people and just feed you nonsense and say, yeah, they're going to go undefeated. That's just not reality. If they can put the pieces together and really get a good run going, I think 10-6 is, they can do that. What do you think?
I'm glad you're a little bit more optimistic than I am. I have them right now sitting where everything's going right now. 8-8. I have them going 8-8. It's just, for me, it's like, look, we're still young at wide receiver. The offensive line's great, but eventually it's going to have to just be more than Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs. Eventually, if a receiver can step up, great, but I don't see that from the young core of the receivers we got. And then defensively, yeah, we had a great defensive, offseason, with Malik Collins, Corey Littleton, Kosowski, Carl Nassib, all those guys. My fear is, hey, can we put it together fast enough to where, because we said it last year, if we had a better defense, we could have probably beaten some teams that we did lose close to. I'm just kind of hoping the same thing this year that, hey, if the defense can improve just a bit, maybe they can go more than 8-8. But right now, where I'm sitting at with no preseason games available, I'm going to go with 8-8 as my final guess.
Yeah.
And then any other ones? Are we all good? Or
Theo James.
Okay, what's up?
Pinche compa going Hollywood on me.
You heard that, bro?
What was that?
Your compadre. He's telling you, you're going Hollywood on him, man.
No, no, never that. I just love Raiders football, man. I'll do anything to just talk a little bit of ball, especially when we're 4 or 5 days away, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to go, man. Ready to turn on light up the charcoal, get a couple of cold ones in me, and man, I'm ready to get back to Sundays.
I'm ready to go back to some normalcy in my life. You know what I mean?
At least they can give us this, man.
So I'll take this. But other than that, any other ones? Or are we all set? Yep, we all good? All right. Well, that's going to do it. I want to thank everybody for the questions. I do want to thank my brother for tuning in today. Same time next week, bro. We got we'll recap the Panthers game, and then we'll get ready for the Monday Night Showdown against the New Orleans Saints. And then everybody watching right now, I do have one more show tomorrow. It is my NFL Daily Show, where I'm going to talk about the matchups and predict the winners for week 1. So if you guys have nothing tomorrow, 7 p.m. sharp again. And, hopefully I pick your team to win, and we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I got nothing other than go Raiders, bro. Your last message?
Let's do it, man. Let's get it. It's, it's about that time, bro.
All right.
About that time. I want to do the silver and black, go back to where they, they need to be, up at the top.
Man,
Let's do it, man. I'm excited. I want to drink right now.
Well, wait for me on Saturday. We got that pork shoulder ready to go, man.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, man. I will see you Saturday then, all right? We'll do the whole, traditional all-nighter, and then Sunday we'll get ready for the game.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you for having me on, brother.
All right, catch you next Tuesday. Catch you next Tuesday. Go Raiders.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.